Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and this is our second mission with the Drifters. After our successful mission for the sector government, we've been hired again, this time to deliver a important document to the government agent. So the government agent is this guy here, and we have to deliver it to him. But unbeknownst to us, why we've been hired to deliver this document is because some isolationists or terrorist group have decided that they want to get these documents from the government. So we are going to be fighting the Shrieker Guardians, who are a terrorist group who believe that all off-worlders should stay off-world, and the natural beauty of their planet is being torn apart by corporations, etc. So they want to stop us from getting our documents to this guy. Now, he can't be killed, the agent. He's just here as an objective more than anything, but a miniature makes more sense. Also, we have a person of interest, which is this miniature here. Now, if one of our miniatures manage to touch him, we do get a story point, because Topaz wants to hear about what's happened to their family. So if they get in contact with them, we gain the story point, and we can say that they managed to have a chat and discover what's been happening back home, etc. So in order for the parcel, or the package, the document if you will, to be handed off, it will take an action to actually hand it off. Now, we're going to have the captain carry in it, because he's the captain and he's the only one really trusted enough to carry these important documents. Now, we have 5 isolationists on the table. We have 3 standard, 1 captain, which will be this guy here, and 1 specialist. Now, the specialist has a cling fire pistol, which is a rather nasty piece of equipment. They are a cautious enemy, so they are going to stay in cover where possible. We are caught off guard, so when we landed to do this mission, they already knew that we were coming, so we don't get to act in the fast phase on the first turn, because they already know we're here and they were preparing for us to land. But we do get to shake for seizing the initiative. So our highest savvy is 1, and we need 10 or more. And we did, we got 12, so yeah, we get to do a seized initiative. So it means basically we get an extra action. So we can either shoot a very difficult shot, but we haven't got line of sight, or we can do a free movement. So we're going to do a free movement because that's the one that actually makes sense. So Conrad has got a movement of 4. And he's going to move up to here. Gray has also got a movement of 4, so going to move alongside his captain. Lomas, also 4. Right, Rico has got 5, so it can move a bit quicker. Then we've got Topaz, who's also got 5. And we got Kate. Kate can move 4. So that's our seizing of the initiative. So it goes straight over to our enemy's turn. So they got a movement of 4. So they're not going to be able to get anywhere where they're going to be able to shoot this turn. So they're going to move their 6 inches because they're going to dash. And they're going to try and end in cover if they can. So he's going to end up here, this standard isolationist. And then the commander, or the lieutenant if you will, is also going to move up into these bushes here. Then we got the specialist. So the specialist is going to run forward, and so are his 2 backup companions, so they're going to be just behind him, rushing up. And that will be their turn. So that's over to our turn in the slow phase. Okay, so we're going to have Captain Conrad is going to do his sprint. dash, and he will get to here, and that would be Conrad's turn. Then we're going to have Grey do much the same, though he's going to run for the building here. So he's going to get here. Lomas is going to run behind his captain. Kate, the killer, the one who did so well last time, will run forward. So she gets to there with 4 inches, but then she's moving in rough terrain, which I actually forgot about for them. So I am going to move them back just a tad, just so they're only just inside the rough terrain. So she can only move 1 inch into this because it's rough terrain. Now Topaz is going to run towards his contact. So he just falls short. He's by here. And we'll have Rico do much the same. But he's going to try and make it a bit more into cover. So he's going to go by here. And that is the end of turn 1. We've managed to rush our people forward a little bit, but nothing really has happened all that much. So turn 2, and we have to shake for reaction this time. See if we can get anyone who can actually move in the fast phase. So our reactions are 1, because they're pretty poor at it. So we get 2 people who can move in the fast phase. So because we've got someone who can move in the fast phase, we're going to give one of those actions, one of those activations rather, to our captain. And our captain's going to rush up. So it gets him to that person. And then for his action, he will activate handing off the briefcase. So that is him activated. So we'll put a little token on him. But he has actually done the quest. So we have successfully handed off the information to the government agent, who quickly runs away. So then we have someone else that we can activate. Who are we going to activate? Okay, I think we're going to have Grey activate. So he can move. So he can move 3 inches to get up to this building. So he's got 1 inch left. So he can't obviously climb up there because the building is... If it stops. The building is 3 inches tall. So he needs all of his movement to get to the top of that. And he would still actually be a little bit short, but I would say, you know, he can climb up that far because it does seem like it's a 1-story building. So with his action, can he see anyone? Right, so he can see this isolationist. I don't know if you can see the straight line. It can just see him, but I would consider him as in cover because there's a lot of this sort of vegetation kind of in the way. So Grey is armed with a colony rifle, which is a one-shot weapon. It's got an 18-inch range, so it's easy within range. Yep. So he's going to need a 6 to hit. He has no... Oh, he has 1 combat, so he does have 1. So I need a 5 or more to hit. I shook a 3, so he fails. He shoots his combat rifle and misses. Over to the enemy phase. Okay, so they want to stay out of 12-inch range if they can. Now, the trouble is they've got pistols, so handguns have got a 12-inch range. So cautious enemies will try and stay sort of 12 inches away from enemies. So that is 12 inches. Okay, so they're going to have to move. So we're going to start with this isolationist here, and he's going to move 2 inches, which will be all of his movement to get to here. And then for his action, can he see? He's not quite in range of anyone, so yeah, he's going to have to move a little bit more forward. So then the commander, or the lieutenant, is also going to move forward to the same sort of space, and he also is just short of being able to shoot anyone. Next, we've got this group. So we have, first of all, the lieutenant. Now, the lieutenant can't actually see Grey from where he is. He's got a movement of 4, and his weapon has a range of 12. And he's got the cling fire weapon. So, what's he going to... He's going to move there. So he's in cover. But he can see Grey. He can't see the captain because all that undergrowth is in the way. But he can see Grey there. But again, he needs a 6 in order to hit because he is in cover and they don't have a combat skill. So he needs a 6 in order to hit. And he took a 3, so he misses Grey. So then we have his lackey that's running along behind him. So his lackey is going to get to here. And he's just got line of sight to Grey. So again, needs a 6 because Grey is in cover. I shook a 4, he misses. And then the final one isn't really going to be able to get into cover and fire at Grey. So he's going to move himself by here. Now, does he have line of sight to anyone? Okay, he does have line of sight to Rico. Is he within 12? No, he's not within 12, so he can't actually shoot at Rico here. So that is enemy turn, and it could have gone a lot worse. So it's over to our slow phase. Alright, so Lomas. Ooh, what are we going to do with Lomas? We don't really want him out in the open that much. He can move 4 inches, which can get him behind his captain. Now, can he see anyone from behind his captain? I would say he can see this guy, the lieutenant, but it's going to be like a 6 to hit him, and Lomas has got a shoot of 0. So I don't think Lomas is going to take that shot. He's going to dash, and because it's a gravel pathway, he can move his full movement. He's going to stand by there. Then we've got Kate. Kate is going to... Right, so she's got her shotgun, and she was lethal last game, so we want to keep Kate as safe as possible. So she's going to move deeper into the undergrowth. By here. Now, has she got line of sight? Well, she's out of range anyway. She can't shoot anyone. But, so yeah. So it doesn't matter if she's in line of sight or not. Now we've got Rico. Rico has his movement of 5. He's got a hand cannon. So actually the range on the hand cannon is very poor. Rico is going to risk it for the biscuit. And he's going to run 6 inches. And he's going to get to here. Now I'm hoping that he will get to move in the fast action phase next turn and not leave himself in the open. But then we have Topaz. So Topaz will move into contact with their contact and get the information with his action. So we get that story point for contacting the contact again. Okay, battle event. So we're going to only have one battle event happen instead of like on turn 2 and turn 4 because we're kind of still new to this. So we're just going to have it happen now on to end of turn 2. So 5. No, it's a D100. So 58. We have managed to get environmental hazard. So we pick a random object or terrain feature, and it might be like something bad happening in it. So we're going to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we shake 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, okay, it might turn out really good for us. any figure currently in or on or within 1 inch must do a savvy roll. 1d6 plus their savvy. So we're going to start with just the average trooper. They don't have any savvy. On a 5 plus, okay, enemies have to roll a 1d6 and have to roll a 4 plus or take 1 damage. Okay, so the first one, he's fine. The lieutenant needs a 4 plus. He's fine. Okay, they're both fine. The feature is safe afterwards. So suddenly the branches start trying to grab them and trying to kill them, but they manage to hack and slash at them and kill off whatever the living bushes are. So that was end of turn 2. So we're over to turn 3 and we have to do reaction rolls. And we're hoping to get 1 in the fast phase at least. Okay. Of course, because we wanted to, we didn't. So the enemy are all going to be going first, and Rico is kind of stuck out in the open here, which is not going to be good for him. Okay, we are in the open, but we're not within 6 inches. So it needs a 5 plus to hit. So a 4 plus because it's the lieutenant shooting at him. So he needs a 4 or more to hit. He shoots and misses, luckily. Because they're cautious, he won't move from there. He's in cover and he's quite happy where he is. But then this guy is going to shoot, and he needs a 5 plus because he has a 0 shooting skill. And he shook a 4, so Rico is lucky here that he gets away with running out in the open. Right, or did I speak too soon? Okay, this guy gets to shoot at Rico, but first of all he's going to maneuver so that he's in cover, because cautious enemies do like to be in cover if possible. So I know it's going to be very hard for you to see him now, but actually, yeah, we'll just know he's in cover. I'll put his base just touching. There you go, like so. And he's going to shoot at Rico also. He is just in range. So he also needs a 5 plus to shoot at Rico as Rico rushes forward. And he hits Rico. Okay. Now, Rico has got a 3 toughness. So 3 or more, and I've taken Rico out. 4. He shoots at Rico and takes Rico out. So Rico goes down Rico goes down to the gunfire. Next we'll have this guy, and he's going to be shooting at Grey. He still needs his 6 and he fails. Then we'll have the lieutenant, the specialist, sorry. Specialist is shooting also. He has a range of 12. I think he's within range. He is. So he also needs a 6. And he hits. Uh-oh. Okay. Grey has a toughness of 3, but it's got a damage bonus of +1. So he needs a 2 or more in order to take Grey out. And he does! Oh no! Alright, this mission is gone bad all of a sudden. Okay, so that is everybody moved on the enemy turn. So it's over to our turn. Okay, so we only have 4 people left. It went bad very quickly. So Topaz has got a movement of a 5. Okay, so does he want to take aim and shoot, or does he want to move? I think he wants to move. He's going to move back 3 inches. There you go. So now he is in range because his colony rifle has got an 18-inch range, and he has only got a 12-inch range. So he's within range, but he does need a 6 in order to hit. Now Topaz has no combat skill, so we do need 6s, and he hits. Good man, Topaz, or good person. So now with that, I need a... They have a toughness of 4, so actually they're tougher than our people. So I need a 4 or more in order to take him out. And a 6! We've taken out this isolationist. So Topaz is the first person to cause a kill, so we'll mark that off so we know. Lomas, because he's on the path, he can move his full 4, which will get him by here. So Lomas has moved, so he doesn't get a aiming bonus. He is within range. Okay, so if they're in the same area, and I'm thinking that they... I think this area now doesn't count as a terrain feature. They can't take cover because they are actually in it. I'm saying because it's a woods, etc. Or they both get the bonus. I'm not really sure which way to take that rule. Do you know what I'll do? I'll say they both get the bonus, okay? So they are within, he's within 6 of each other, or within range, and they are in cover. So he needs a 6+ in order to hit. So it's actually worse off for me doing it that way, but I'll take the ruling that way. So Lomas, shooting, he misses. So that is Lomas's turn. Then we have the captain. Now the captain is going to do the same. He's going to move up, running on the path. He's by here. And he's going to fire at this one, which is within range. So he also needs a 6 in order to hit. And he missed. Do you know what? I think I'm going to use a story point. Because we will have gained a story point. So I'll use one to fire again to try and take out this dude. So 6. No, and he fails. So that's the captain's turn. Then we got Kate. Okay, so Kate, for both of her actions, can get here. So she, for all of her movement, she can get there. Now, she is in range now, but he is in cover. But you know what? I don't care. She's going to open fire with her shotgun. Now she's got a combat of 0. But it is 2 shots, so she needs a 6. Oh, and I shook a 5 and a 4, so close, yet so far away. Okay, she blasts away and misses. So we're over to turn 3. Actually, before we do turn 3, we have to shake for their morale. So on a 1 or a 2, one of these people have run away because they have a panic of a 1 or a 2. And I shook a 3. Not quite. That would have been good. That would have evened up the odds a little bit more. Alright, so we've got 4 people. Shaking 4 dice. None of our people act in the fast phase. Of course they don't. Why would they? Okay, so we're going to start with this lieutenant. He is just in range. And he's shooting at Kate, who's in the open. She's not within 6 though. So he needs a 5 down to a 4 because he's +1. And he shook a 3, so he misses. And he's missed. So then we got this one, and he's shooting at Lomas. Lomas is not within 3, so if he's within 3 inches, he has to shoot at that person. So he does have a choice, but he is still shooting at him anyway. So he needs 6+ because I counted them as in cover, so we'll have the same bonus. So the first guy shooting at Lomas misses, but I shook a 1 and he didn't move, so he gets to roll it again, and he misses. Next standard peon is going to be shooting, hitting on 6s, misses. Then we have the specialist. Now, the specialist doesn't have any bonus to his skill, but he does have a cling of fire pistol, which shoots twice, which I forgot last time, hitting on 6s. Okay, and I didn't shake any 1s, so he can't reroll, so he's missed with both of his shots. That went pretty good for us. So it's over to our turn, which, of course, we're in the slow phase. Right, Topaz is not going to move. He's going to shoot at this guy. Now, he hits on a 6 with his colony rifle. I missed, and I didn't shake a 1, so he doesn't get to have any rerolls because he was aiming. Then we got Kate. Kate is going to fire. He's within the range. Just, yep. That's 2 dice, and I need 6s in order to hit the lieutenant. 4 and a 2. Just misses. So yeah, that wasn't good. Then we got Lomas. Lomas is going to shoot at... Well, he's going to shoot at the specialist because he's got the weapon that he's most scared of. So Lomas is going to have, again, he's going to have to hit on a 6. Actually, Lomas has only got a handgun. He doesn't have the hand cannon. So hitting on a 6. And I shook a 2. So he doesn't get any rerolls because he didn't move. Oh, wow. Okay, and then the captain. Now, the captain can't see the specialist, but he can see this guy here. So he's going to shoot at him. He isn't moving. With his hand cannon. Oh, hang on. Is he in range with a hand cannon? Yes, he is in range with the hand cannon. So hitting on a 6. Rerolling 1s because I've aimed. I shook a 2 again. Oh, okay, so that is... Do I use another luck point? Do you know what? I'm going to use another story point to re-roll that shot. So I'm down to 6 story points, but I'm going to gain 1 from meeting up with our contact. So, come on. 6. No, okay. He shoots and misses. Okay, so we didn't lose any people that turn for the enemy, so we got to do our reaction rolls. Now, we could do with getting at least 1 here. Nope, none of our people are quick again. So we're going to start with the lieutenant firing at us. So he's shooting, of course, at... Yes, at Kate, because she's the only one in range. Going to be re-rolling any ones. So we need a 4+ in order to hit Kate. And he shook a 6, so he has hit Kate. Does he damage her? So he needs a 4+ to damage her. And he doesn't damage her, but he does put a stun marker on her, which is actually the first time we've managed to get to see stuns in this game. So she's got 1 stun marker on her. So if she gets free, she's automatically knocked out of the game. But she does lose 1 stun marker at the end of activation. So we have this trooper shooting at this guy. Lomas needing a 6. Nope. Then we got the other trooper shooting and hits. Okay. So he's got a handgun. So shooting Lomas. Lomas has got a toughness of 4. So he needs a 4+. And he hits and wounds Lomas, taking him down. Now the specialist is going to fire at our captain. He needs 6s. And he gets 1. Okay, wow, okay. It's got a damage of 1 against my toughness of 3. So, goes down to 2. So he needs 2 or more in order to take Captain Conrad out. Gets 3. He just took Captain Conrad out. So all the luck that we had from our last game, I think, is gone out the window. So Kate gets to move or fire because she's got 1 stun on her. So she's going to fire, of course, at the lieutenant here. So she didn't get a chance to aim because she's stunned. So she does need 6s. And the time when aiming would have helped, of course, we shake the 1. But she does lose her stunned marker at the end of her activation. And then we have Topaz with his colonial rifle, needing a 6. Hasn't moved, so can reroll 1s. Rerolling a 1. 4. Bang. Misses. Right. So we've only got 2 people left. And hopefully we'll get a reaction here. Alright, so we've got 1 person moving in the fast action. So we're going to have Kate again firing at this guy. This time she does get her reroll for aiming. 2 5s. Okay, that's her turn. Maybe she should have moved into cover, but that's her done. Over to the lieutenant or lieutenant. He is firing back, so he needs a 5 in order to hit. He shoots and misses. Then these guys are going to have to actually move to get any sort of sight on Kate. Okay, so they're going to have a bit of trouble here keeping in cover and get in a line of sight on us. So, how are they going to move here? I think they're going to have to sort of sneak around the terrain in order to try and get a line of sight but stay in cover. So this guy is going to move here, and then there, and then him to there. So yeah, that could have been a lot worse actually, because they don't have a line of sight. So we have Topaz here. Topaz is going to fire at the lieutenant and hopefully finally hit. So get to re-roll any ones, needed sixes, and of course it failed. To the next turn, and we have reaction phase. Okay, so one of them is going to get to act in the first, the fast phase, if you will. So of course we're going to have Kate needing sixes, and she gets a 6, so she actually hits him with the shotgun. It has a damage of 1, so it knocks their toughness down to 3. So she needs 3 or more in order to take this guy out. I rolled off the table, so I'll shake another one. I can't quite reach it. Can you see that? Oh, bring it back that way. 3. So exactly enough to hit and take out the lieutenant, which is something we really needed to do, is take someone out. And then they're going to keep moving. So this one is going to move up onto the path. That takes it 3 inches to get here. And then another 1 inch to kind of just get there and just get line of sight to Kate. Alright, but it's kind of very blocked from this angle to hit her. So I'm going to say she's in cover. So again, it needs a 6. Shook a 5, so failed to do that. Then our cling fire specialist is going to move here, so he doesn't have line of sight. And then this guy, oh, could use a second action. Yeah, he's going to move his second action just to get here. So next turn, he will be able to fire at Kate just. But Topaz will have to move in order to get a line of sight on him. And then this guy is going to do the same. He's going to sprint up behind the specialist. Okay, so then we have Topaz here, who hasn't activated yet. Okay, so you can move 4 to get him there. And then just so he's just inside to get the terrain bonus. And he's going to fire at the specialist. Now, he is in cover because he's within an inch of a terrain feature. He's not within 6 inches. So he needs a 6 in order to hit. So Topaz fires and hits. Yes. So I need a 4 or more. And I got a 4. So he just shoots and takes out the specialist. So then we have to go over to the morale phase. Okay, so because 2 people were taken out, I shake 2 dice. And 1 or 2, someone runs. So could actually get both of them running away here. You saw me shake it. And both of them run off because they've just seen their specialist get wiped out in front of their eyes. So they run off, terrified of Topaz and Kate. So post-battle, wow, activities. Okay, so we have to roll for a rival. So on a 1, the isolationists have now become a rival of ours. So I shook a 4, we're okay. We don't get a new rival, which is good. Okay, we could add the patron as a acquired patron, but he already is an acquired patron. It wasn't a quest mission. We get 1d6 in credits for the mission, plus we got 2 for danger pay. So we shook a 3, plus 2, that is 5 credits we've gained from that mission. So 5 credits. We're up to 37 credits. And of course we gain a story point because we did manage to get in contact with Topaz's contact. So that's 7 story points we're back up to. Okay, battlefield finds. What did we manage to find on the battlefield? What was left behind? 58. That is a personal trinket. On each planet you visit, roll 2d6, and on a 9 you find the owner of that trinket. And you get a free loot roll. So we got a personal trinket. So now we have to check for invasion. It wasn't a part of an invasion thing. Gather loot. Roll once on the loot table. Okay, let's see what our loot is. 86. That's a reward. 95. Mysterious item. Gain 2 story points. So that made up for what we've used, and we've actually ended up gaining 1 story point. I think I would have rather a rumour at this point to try and help us find our ship. Determine injuries. Okay, so let's have a little look what's happened to our people. So we're going to start off, of course, with Captain Conrad. Now, Captain Conrad, what happened to you? 42. Crippling wound. Requires 1d6 worth of credits of surgery. Okay, so 4 credits worth of surgery. So we're down to 34 credits. So yeah, that mission didn't pay quite as well now after having to pay for some medical treatment. If I didn't do that, I would suffer a permanent -1 to either speed or toughness. So yeah, that wouldn't have been good. How long are they in sick bay though? 4 turns. Okay, that's not good. Grey. Grey also got taken out, so let's see what happens to Grey. 41. Crippling wound. Wow, okay. So let's see how much costs us 2 creds in order to make sure he doesn't get a minus to a stat. So we're down to 32 credits. And how long is he out? And he's out for 5 turns as well. Okay, I think we need to hire some people. Lomas. Lomas was taken out also. 54. Serious injury. No long-term effect. But 1d3 plus 1. Okay, so how long are they out for? They're out for 2 turns. Rico for the injuries. 30. Equipment loss. A random carried piece of equipment is damaged. Okay, so Rico was carrying his hand cannon. That was it. So he's got a damaged hand cannon now. So experience. So I get +1 experience to anyone who was actually knocked out. So Rico. The captain, up to 6. Grey, up to 4. And Lomas, also up to 4. So, survived and won is 3 experience points. So, 3 experience points to Topaz, bringing him up to 8. And 3 experience for Kate, which would bring her up to 3. So, do we want to spend any of our experience points on anything? So it costs 6 to knock a toughness up. So we are going to do that. We're going to spend the captain's 6 experience points and knock his toughness up to 4 to make him a bit tougher. So being knocked out this game has actually made him a little bit tougher and able to fight a bit better. Grey's 4 isn't going to really be able to knock anything up, nor is Lomas's, nor is Rico's. Now, Topaz has got 8. So he can knock his combat up 1, which I think we're going to do. So that costs 7 to knock the combat up 1. So he's got 1 experience left, and his combat now is +1. So he's learned some tricks after doing that fighting. Kate has only got 4, although she did really well that turn. She'd spent her points previously on knocking her toughness up. So yeah, that is the leveling. So yeah, I just realised it was Topaz who actually took out the first enemy. Topaz has actually got 2 experience points left after knocking his combat up. So advanced training, we're not going to do that. Purchasing items, I don't think we'll bother doing that. Roll for campaign events. A campaign event is 21. The older nemesis has tracked you down. Select a prior rival or roll a new one up. This will follow you from planet to planet until you resolve. Ooh. Okay, so we've got 3 rivals now. And one of them is persistent. Galactic War, well, there's nothing happening in the Galactic War. So then a random character gets a character event. So Grey gets a character event happen to him. And 94. It's time to go. Whatever you did, every campaign turn you stay on the planet, you must add an additional rival. Wow, okay. And that's what's happened to the Drifters. All in all, we took a real battering, and yeah, not in good state of things here. So, yeah. After our first mission and our first outing, maybe that went rather too well for us and got us a little bit too confident. Join me again for episode 3 and see if the crew of the Drifters manage to stay alive and stay ahead of all their rivals which they're gathering. But until next time, it's going to be goodbye from me, Welsh Miniature Board Gamer.